everyone, I am Trisha May M. Alcantara. I am here in this video to discuss about stress and human response. Sa araw-araw nating pamumuhay, hindi natin maiiwasan na makaranas ng stress, lalo na ngayong college na tayo at lalo na in the future kapag naging teachers na tayo at sa mga mag-shift, ang mga engineers at kung anong-ano pa man. Kaya naman, mahalaga na maintindihan natin what really stress is and how does it affect our body and mind. So, the American Institute of Stress, or AIS, has distinguished different types of stress and the human response to it. So, Hans Selye defined stress as the body's non-specific response to any demand which can be caused by or results in unpleasant pleasant stimuli. Ibig sabihin, based on the definition that Hans Selye gave, stress, hindi lang siya bad na stress. Kasi it can be caused by pleasant or unpleasant stimuli. At saka sinabi dito na it is non-specific. Stress is how our body react or responds to what happens around us. Nasa sa atin yun kung ititik ba natin siya as unpleasant or pleasant stimuli. Kaya naman, nagbigay si Hans Selye ng two types of stress. Meron tayong tinatawag natin na distress or eustress. Sinasabi na it is essential to differentiate between the unpleasant or harmful variety of stress, termed distress, which often connotes disease, and eustress, which often connotes euphoria. So, ibig sabihin kapag naririnig daw natin yung term na distress, naisip natin disease agad yan, and eustress, it connotes euphoria. Narito yung pagkakaiba ng distress and eustress. So, distress has negative connotations such as divorce, punishment, injury, negative feelings, financial problems, and work difficulties. While eustress, it has positive connotations such as marriage, promotion, baby, winning money, new friends, and graduation. Pero itong distress and eustress, parehas lang sila na kapag naranasan natin, the body undergoes non-specific responses to various positive or negative stimuli acting upon it. So, tulad nga ng sinabi ko kanina, eustress often connotes euphoria and distress often connotes disease. Kaya naman sinasabi na eustress causes much less damage than distress. This demonstrates conclusively that it is how an individual accepts stress that determines ultimately whether the person can adapt successfully to change. Tulad na sabi ko kanina, stress is the body's non-specific response. Ibig sabihin, hindi specific. Kasi tayo yung magdidikta kung paano ba iti-take to ng body natin. Iti-take ba siya as distress or eustress? Kasi nasa atin yun kung iti-take natin yung mga nangyayari sa paligid natin as pleasant or unpleasant stimuli. So, Hans Selye hypothesized the general adaptation or stress syndrome. So, it has three components: the alarm stage, the stage of resistance, and exhaustion stage. So, sa alarm stage, it represents a mobilization of the body's defensive forces. So, sa phase na to, the initial reaction of the body to stress is that it labels the stressor as threat or danger to balance. That is why it immediately activates its fight or flight response system and releases the stress hormones such as adrenaline, noradrenaline, and cortisol. These hormones enable you to perform activities that you don't usually do. So, isang halimbawa ng alarm stage, kunwari nasusunog yung bahay natin. Ang tendency natin, ilalabas agad natin yung mga bagay-bagay na maaaring masunog sa pagkasunog ng bahay. Particularly yung mga appliances natin, mga ref, mga washing machine. Alam nyo ba na kapag nangyari yon, nagsishift agad yung body natin into the alarm stage. Kaya, nakakapaglabas tayo ng mga hormones particularly adrenaline, na nakakatulong para makapagbuhat tayo ng mabibigat na bagay palabas ng bahay. Pero, meron yung nagiging epekto sa atin after. Kasi yung blood pressure natin will start to rise after a minute or less, which can predispose you to damage of the brain and the heart's blood vessels, putting you at risk to stroke or heart attack. The muscles you've utilized might also become painful due to tissue damage. So, next component ay ang stage of resistance. In this stage, the body becomes adaptive to the challenge and even begins to resist it. After the body had responded to the stressor, it is more likely that the stress level has been eradicated or simply reduced. Siyempre, nababawasan na yan, di ba? What happens next to the flight or fight response is that your body's defenses become weaker, as it needs to allocate energy to the repair of damaged muscle tissues and lower the production of the stress hormones. Although the body has shifted to the second phase of the stress response, it remains on guard, particularly when the stressors persist and the body is required to fight them continuously, although not as stronger as it could during the initial response. So, naintindihan nyo naman, di ba? So, nakalimutan ko pala sabihin kanina para sa alarm stage na hindi tayo pwedeng magtagal sa alarm stage. Kasi, di ba, sa alarm stage, nagre-release tayo ng mga stress hormones. At isa sa mga stress hormones na pwede nating ma-release ay ang cortisol. At ang mahabang exposure sa cortisol compromises our immune function. So our body cannot handle being on this stage too long. We either die or proceed to the second stage. Yan. Kapag, kunwari, masyado nung matagal yung alarm stage natin, maaari tayong mamatay. Or maaari, kung ano naman, kung tama lang yung pagkakatigil natin sa alarm stage, pwede tayong mag-proceed sa stage of resistance. So, ituloy natin sa stage of resistance. Sa stage of resistance, ituloy natin yung kwento kanina. Di ba sabi ko na maapektuhan yung mga muscle tissues sa pagbubuhat mo ng mabibigat na bagay. Dito sa resistance stage, nababawasan yung energy natin kasi na-allocate yung energy natin para ma-repair yung mga tissues na nasira from the alarm stage. Next component is the exhaustion stage, where the body dies because it has used up its resources of adaptation and so sa exhaustion stage, the stress has been persistent for a longer period. The body starts to lose its ability to combat the stressors and reduce their harmful impact because the adaptive energy is all drained out. The exhaustion stage can be referred to as the gate towards burnout or stress overload, which can lead to health problems if not resolved immediately. So, body dies, hindi naman totally namamatay. Kasi kung hindi masusolusyonan agad, mamamatay ka talaga. Kasi, di ba kanina, sinabi ko na yung bawal sa too much na cortisol sa alarm stage. Kasi doon, di ba, naapektuhan niya yung immune system. Parang nako-compromise yung immune system. So, wala nang magde-defend sa katawan natin sa mga maaari nating matanggap from the environment. So, mamamatay yung katawan natin. Tsaka, di ba, sabi ko kanina, sa stage of resistance, dito na yung parang inire-repair na yung mga muscle tissues na nasira nung alarm stage. So, yung energy na ginamit para ma-repair yung mga muscle tissues ay unti-unti nung nauubos dito sa exhaustion stage. Kaya, wala nang pagkukunan yung body natin ng energy. Kaya sinasabing the body dies. All in all, the General Adaptation Syndrome model by Hansel presents a clear biological explanation of how the body responds and adapts to stress. Next naman ay stress diseases. Stress diseases are the maladies caused principally by errors in the body's general adaptation process. Stress diseases will not occur when all the body's regulatory processes are properly checked and balanced. The biggest problem in derailing the general stress syndrome and causing disease is an absolute excess, deficiency, or disequilibrium in the amount of adaptive hormones. For example, corticoids, adrenocorticotropic hormone, or ACTH, and growth hormones are produced during stress. If stress is induced chronically, our defense response lowers its resistance, since fewer antibodies are produced and an inflammatory response dwindles. Let's proceed to the article entitled Understanding Stress Response of by the Health Journal, 2017, that further discussed about chronic stress and human body response. According to it, chronic stress is unpleasant even when it is transient. A stressful situation, whether something environmental such as losing work deadline or psychological such as persistent worry about losing a job, can trigger a cascade of stress hormones that produce well-orchestrated physiological changes. A stressful incident can make the heart pound and breathing quicken, muscles tense, and beads off, sweat appear. So, ang chronic stress, hindi talaga siya maganda. At ang mga nakaka-stress na pangyayari, gawa ng halimbawa, pag natin ng mga deadlines, mga kailangan natin magpasok on time, kaya nasa stress tayo, kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng chronic stress. Tumakot naman tayo sa stress response. So the combination of reactions to stress is also known as the fight or flight response because it evolved as a survival mechanism enabling people and other mammals to react quickly to life-threatening situations. The sequence of hormonal changes and physiological responses helps someone to fight the threat off or flee to safety. Unfortunately, the body can also overreact to stressors that are not life-threatening such as traffic jams, work pressure, and family difficulties. Over time, repeated activation of stress response takes a toll on the body. Research suggests that chronic stress contributes to high blood pressure, promotes the formation of artery clogging deposits, and causes brain changes that may contribute to anxiety, depression, and addiction. Chronic stress may also contribute to obesity, both through direct mechanism and indirect mechanism. Indirect mechanism, people eat more, and indirect, they lack sleep and exercise. Stress response begins in the brain. When someone confronts an oncoming car or other danger, the eyes or ears or both send the information to the amygdala, an area of the brain that contributes to the emotional processing. The amygdala interprets the images and sounds. When it perceives danger, it instantly sends a distress signal to the hypothalamus. When someone experiences a stressful event, the amygdala area sends it to the hypothalamus. This part of the brain functions like a command center, communicating with the rest of the body through the nervous system so that the person has the energy to fight or flee. Imagine kung gaano kabilis nagtatransmit yung information from outside ng body natin through the nerves sa nervous system natin papunta sa brain at kung paano na-process ng brain yung mga information na yon at may papakalat sa body natin. So, that's the end of my report. I hope you understand something about stress and human response. Thank you.